Welcome to the 39th session on operating system and Linux. I am Manibhushan D'Souza, and in today's class we are going to discuss about file-oriented commands in Linux. In particular, we are going to see some of the file-oriented commands such as cat, np, rm, mb, and so on. Let's start with the simplest command, and that is the cat command. So the cat command is used to concatenate the files. Concatenation you know very well, to combine two files together, but it can also be used to display the content of the file onto the screen. So let's look at a simple example how this cat file can be used. I have with me the Mint Linux, and what I have here is a folder that is named as BSC. So this is the folder that I have, okay, and okay, and then let me not show that. Okay, I have opened this folder, and the content of this folder are as follows. So let me slightly zoom in a bit. I'm not able to see my desktop in spite of all the effort. Okay, so now I'm able to see that. Okay, so let's look at that. Sorry about that, because I can't zoom in unless I'm there in Windows. So let's go ahead and let me show you the zoomed in version of it. So if you look at here, I have the BSC with me, and I've double clicked on this BSC which is there on my desktop, and I have a few files here, like I have cities, my cities, and so on. Let me double click on this cities.txt to find out what is there in that. So I have cities like Mangaluru, Bangalore, Mysuru, and Udupi, Surathkal, and so on and so forth. So few cities are there with me. Let me close this file and let me go to the command prompt. So I have the command prompt with me, that is the terminal window with me, and I'm going to zoom out whenever I'm in the terminal window, because I have already made it appealing to you so that you can see it on the windows. Now let me tell you, I am going to open this file, and as you already seen, when you open this file you are going to see the content. Okay, this is for not for that. So if I'm able to, okay, I'm going to just show you that this is the content within that file, that is cities.txt. Now let me go to the command prompt over here, and I'm going to use the cat command. So cat followed by the name of the file, that is the cities.txt. If I press enter, you will notice that it is also going to show you the content of the file, and you notice that you can't edit this one, but you can see the content. Okay, so this is how it can be used. Now suppose if you want to combine the output of two files together, you can do that thing, and that is what is called as concatenation. So concatenation is nothing but trying to combine two files together. One thing you will notice over here is that this cat file, that is this cat command, takes the name of the file as input and then shows the output onto the screen. Now what I can do is I can write like this cat, and I can use greater than symbol. This is a redirection symbol. It's called as redirection symbol, and this redirection symbol can be used to send the output to other file. For example, I'm going to say that, okay, favorite cities dot txt. Now before I do that thing, before I press enter, I would like to show, I will minimize this, I would like to show the content of this. I will press enter. Remember, I have not pressed the enter there, so I have not pressed enter here. When I press enter, you will notice that that file is going to be created. So I press enter, you notice that the file favorite cities has been created. If you double click on it, you will notice that it contains the same content as that of the original file. So what I have done in this one is I have sent the content. You know very well, when you say cat and text file, it's going to display the content onto the screen or onto the terminal. What I've done is that I am going to send it to other file. So instead of showing onto the screen, it sends the output to the different file. Now if you can also use cat, okay, followed by favorite cities to just get the output of it, and you notice that definitely you will notice that there is no change in it. Let me clear the content as such. So if I clear the content, I will get a blank screen, no doubt about it. Now let's look at the other way around. Now what I told you is this cat file, this cat command takes the input from a file, and you can use greater than symbol to send it to some other file. So I'm not going to try this thing one more time because you know that. So in this case, the content of favorite cities will be sent to the friend. So let's say friends. Let me make it as friends. So friends text. Now what if, so look at here, what I'm doing is, what if I am not going to give the file name? So what does this mean? This means I'm not giving the file name. So I'm saying that cat show the output or give the output to a file called as friends.txt. So send the output to the friends.txt. But what is the input? I'm supposed to give the file name as input, but I'm not giving the file name as input. In this case, what's going to happen? If I press enter, you will see a command prompt. So what the cat is going to tell you is that now, because you have not given the file name to me, I am going to take the input from the keyboard. So type the input from the keyboard, and I am going to, whatever you type, I am going to save that content into the friends text. So let me write that thing. So I'm going to say Asha, okay, I'm going to say Bharat as my friend, I'm going to say Dheeraj as one of my Dheeraj Kumar, let me say, as one of my friend, and let's say Savita K, Savita Kumari, let's say, as my other friend. Now at the end, I'm going to press Ctrl and D to complete that. Now it has created a file, so you can guess it is going to create a file. If you look at that one thing over here, it has created a file called friends.txt. If I double click on it, definitely you will notice that it has created all my friends over here. Now let's come back to the cat again. So I can use cat and I can say cities.txt as well as friends.txt. In that case, what's going to happen? In that case, it's going to first show all the cities, and then it's going to show all the friends. That's what is the meaning of saying concatenating. You know what is the meaning of saying concatenating? You combine two things together, and that is what you can have any number of files over here which you can use for concatenation. Now let's go to the PowerPoint over here. Now there are some of the options which are available along with the cat. You can use cat -s to suppress a warning message saying that the file does not exist, or -d to list the subdirectory, -b to show the number of non-blank line, and -n to output the line numbers. I'm going to do that as a last example for this particular command. So let me first clear the content, and I am going to say my friends, no doubt, are there with me, and I'm going to say -n, cat -n friends. What is the difference is it's going to give the line number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now without this -n, what you would have got is just the output. of your friends. Hope you get the difference over here. I will not show you all the examples over here because I'm recording the video, so it may take a longer time. So this is what it's going to do. We have seen the example. Let's go ahead with the other. So you can use the redirection operator greater than to redirect the output of the cat into the file name, and then press Ctrl D to end that. For example, I can say cat x.txt, hi, this is a file, and press Ctrl D. This content, whatever you type, will be saved onto the file called as x.txt. Next one is the copy command. So copy can be used to copy the one file to the other file. So cp is a very simple option that you have. So let's look at it in action. So I'm going to create a copy of cities. Okay, so how do I do that? Cp, okay, cities, that's a file, and I'm going to say old cities. Okay, cities, hope my English is proper. Okay, in any case, it's not that I'm teaching you in the English, but English is required. So we have cp, the first file name, that is the file name, original file name, source file name, and this will be the destination file name. Where is it going to be saved? It's going to be created here itself. So let me just take it to the other side. So otherwise I can just keep it here and just press enter on this command. You can notice I have not pressed enter. You can notice that a new file will be created. I press enter, and you notice that the old city, it is the file here, old city is created. I can double click and show you, or I can use the cat. So it has created a copy of it. So you can always use the copy. Now how do I create a directory? You know very well, to create a directory you say mkdir and followed by, let's say I am in the third sem, so I'm going to say third, yes, I have typed third sem. So if I press enter, what's going to happen? It's going to create a folder called as third sem. So let's come back to that. So I have a folder here. So that's how I create. Mkdir is the command. You have already studied that. Now what if I copy my cities into that folder? So how do I do that thing? So I have to say cp my cities, okay, and I'm going to say third sem and a slash. Remember, the slash indicates that it's a folder, it's not the file name. If you don't do that, it will assume that it is a file name. Okay, so press enter, and what you can notice, when I press enter and if I go inside it, you will notice that my cities it has created. You can give a different name, no doubt about it. So I can give a very different name for that, but as of now I will not venture into that. So this is how you can copy the content of one file into the other file. That's what is the cp command. Okay, if the destination file exists, then it is going to overwrite that file. That's one important thing that you must notice. So if the same file exists, or you are trying to copy from let me say, there is my mouse pointer. So this file you are trying to copy into the other file. If the destination file name already exists, whatever content which is there in this file will overwrite that file. That means you are going to lose that file if you are not a bit careful about it. So let's go ahead with that. So can I prevent it from doing it? Yes, you can do it. You can say that -i, so it's going to prompt and say that that file already exists. So do you want me to override it? In Windows, you know very well. So Windows also says that. Okay, so let's try that thing. So instead of telling you the story, so what I am supposed to do, cp, and I am supposed to say -i. So that's very important. I press enter. Remember, there is already that file is there, cities file is there, already I have copied. Last time I copied it. So when I do that, what's going to happen? When I press enter, it's going to say overwrite cp. If I say yes, it's going to overwrite it. If I say no, n or y, it's not going to override that. Let me clear that. You have many other options. Please kindly excuse me. I will not be venturing into all the options over here. You have a -p option, which will preserve the ownership. You know very well, we have different ownership for the file. If you want to preserve the same ownership in the copied file, you can also do it. Suppose if you have many files inside a folder and you want to copy all the files, so here I have done it only one file. Now remember, you know very well, in Windows or in anywhere, you don't generally copy one file, you copy multiple number of files. Suppose if you want to copy all the files and subdirectories, use cp-r for doing it. We will explore into these options during the lab, not now, so kindly excuse me for that. So this is one simple cp command that you can use it. Next one is if you want to remove the file, if you want to delete a file. Now you may say, some of you may say that if you want to delete a file, click and press delete, it's going to do. So that is if you have a Windows. Okay, windowing system is there, you can do it. What if you have only terminal and you want to delete it? Okay, you are given only terminal, then you are asked to do it. Then you have to issue a command, and this command is the remove command. So remove command will delete the file. Okay, now one thing you must understand, that if at all you want to delete a file from a particular directory, you must have a write permission on that directory, because when you delete a file, you will have to change the content of the directory, saying that this particular file does not exist. So if you don't have the permission, then you will get a message from the system saying that you can't do that. Okay, again you have a lot of option for doing it. So let's try to do that thing. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to delete that file. Let me first go to this one. Remember, I went, if you are not seeing me doing it, I went inside the third sem here. That file is there, the third sem file is there. So how do I remove it? I'm going to say remove it. Remember, I am inside BSc, I am not inside the third sem here. I am, let me go here, I am inside BSc. I'm inside BSc. Now inside BSc there is third sem. Inside that there is that file. Okay, I want to delete that. So I am in BSc. So I have to first go to the third sem, and inside third sem I have this city is not that capital. That cities .txt file is there. So this is the file I am referring to. Look at here. This is the file I am referring to, BSc and a third sem, and that file name. So if I press enter, what's going to happen? It's going to delete that file. So simple as that. So you can always delete a file. Now if you want to get a prompt and other things, you can always do that thing. So you can use -i. So it is going to prompt you, do you want me to delete? If you press yes, it's going to delete it. No, it's not going to delete it. There is a other way around, that is -f. -f is forcefully delete a file. So that means even if the file is write protected or anything, you are just cutting that file off without giving it any chance. Generally, if the file is write protected, the system will say that this is write protected file. Do you really want to delete this kind of file and make a mess out of it? So sometime you are, just to give you a caution that I am not going to do it. Sometime you would like to tell the Linux that no, I know what I am doing it, just get rid of those files. So in that case, use -f as your option. So here, for example, you will notice that -f has been used to delete the content of, you notice that file name is not given. It's going to delete all the content of this Ibrahim, and finally it's going to delete the directory. Next command is the move command. So you know very well, copy, paste and cut, paste. You know the difference between cut and paste and copy and paste. So this is cut and paste. You are moving a file from one folder to the other folder. It can also be used to rename. So you don't have a separate command for rename. MV itself can be used for renaming it. So let's first look at how it can be done. So I'm going to go, where is my this one? So I will go to my file over here, and I have my old cities. Let me talk about this old cities. So I'm going to say move this old cities to third sem. Okay, remember what's the difference between copy? Copy means both the files will be there. Move means this file is taken from here. you notice that where is this old cities, this file is going to be taken from here and it's going to be moved. So let me just show you that it is here and I am not pressed enter. Let me press enter here and this file is gone from here. Where is it? It is inside the third BSC. So you are going to move the file from one place to the other. So simple as that. Now this is if you are moving it. Suppose if you move from here to here, okay, so if you move in the same one, when I say here to here means within the same folder, if you are moving, then it is not called as move. Then you may say that what is the use of moving a file from here to here? What do you get it? Now when you move the file within the same folder, you can change the name of the file. So let me go here and let's say I have something called as Fav Cities. So okay, I have this one, so I'm going to just get it here. I have that file, so let me say MV, my favorite cities are there. Okay, I'm going to say that, okay, I'm moving it to the within the same folder, but I'm going to call this as a F. Let's say what name I can give. Okay, top cities. Okay, T has not come. Okay, top cities dot txt. Remember, I am moving it within the same folder. Last time I moved it to the some different folder. Now I am moving it within the same folder, but I am giving a different name to this file. So when you are moving, so in other words, you take this file from here, okay, and you give a different name and move it to the other location. So content of the file will be same, but what is different? The name will be different. So let me look at that. Let me show you this particular file here, that is favcity file. So let's go here and let me press enter, and you notice that it is gone but not deleted. It is gone but it is changed as top cities. So it has been changed as top cities. So this is how you can rename the file. Renaming is moving within the same folder but with a different name. So when what you have done here is you have changed this file, you have moved it to the other side on the same folder, but you gave a different name. Remember, when you move it to the other folder also you can give a name. So suppose in this case I have just moved the file to here. When if I give some different name, this file will be moved inside third sem, that is this folder. It will be moved to this folder, but if you give a name here, that file will be moved. You know what is the meaning of saying moving the file? It will be moved inside third sem but with a different name. So you can do that also. Again, for the restriction of time, I will just go ahead with the next one. So this is how you can move. The next command that you can think of using is word count, WC. So word count is used for displaying how many lines are there, how many words are there, how many characters are there within a given file. So sometimes it is required to know the different things which are there in the file. So let me go to my file called as cities. Okay, so let's first display that cities. I will use a cat with the cities so that you know that this is a city, and I'm going to now say WC cities. Without anything, I'm going to say it's going to give you these many things. What are these things? These things are 8 lines are there. Okay, let me clear it and try it one more time so that you know this one clear. Okay, how do I get the line numbers? Cat minus en cities. So you know that. So 8 lines are there. Remember this, I got it 1 2 3 4 because I'm using minus n. It is not part of the file. It's not there inside the file. This line number I gave it because I gave the option as minus n. If I give minus n, I get the line numbers. Now let me go with the WC without any option. Not this one. WC without anything. So what you notice, there are 8 lines are there. You know very well, 8 lines are there. There are 9 words are there. 1 2 3 4 5, and there are 2 words are there. You notice that Kushal space Nagar, 2 words are there. So 9 words are there, and if you count, if you have the time and patience, count it, you will get 69 characters inside that particular thing. So this is a line, this is words, this is the number of characters. If you just want the line, then you say WC minus EL just to get the line number. So it's WC, I need to put a space there, so I forgot. Okay. WC 8 lines. Okay, if you want just the words, so you can see minus W for just the word, 9 words, you can see there 9 words. If you want the last option, if you want only the characters, you know what is the option, minus C for number of characters. So this is how you can use that. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. So EL for displaying the line number, number of words, number of characters. So this is how you can use the WC. Next, look at the link command. Now link is nothing but creating a shortcut. In Windows you have created a shortcut. In the same way you can create a shortcut. Now in Linux, you know very well, at the end of the day the file has to be stored inside a disk. All of you are familiar with that. So the file will be finally stored in the disk. Now the same place I can give two names. So I can call the same file with the 2, 3, 10, any number. I can give different names for the same file. Okay, so that is called as, in Windows, that is called as shortcuts. You create shortcuts, same content but with the different names. You can change the name of the shortcut and you can get it. Same idea you can achieve it in Linux. And what is that is called as? That is called as a linking. So you can use ln for achieving that. So let's go here. Let me clear the clutter here. Let me create a link for cities. Cities, and I'm going to say, okay, my C. Just to give you things, txt. Okay, you get the cities, and you notice that my txt. Now this is the same content. You may think that okay, this is, you have copied it. I have not copied it. The two of them, cities as well as the other two, both of them. So these both, this cities as well as the, what is that I gave, my C, both of them are pointing to the same file. There is only one file but the two names are given to that. So that's called as shortcut. Okay, so if I've talked about ls command here. If you do ls minus L, you will notice that for the cities there is two links. You notice that for cities there is two links, and for my C there are two links. So what is the meaning of it? The same file has two references. One is the city and the other one is the my C. That is why it's going to say there are two links are there for these two files. So that is what is the that's how you can create the links in the file. Okay, so give the file name and additional file name. So this is how you can create it. Remember that if you delete the name of the one of the file, so in other words, if you delete this file, if you delete cities, say if you delete cities, the original file will not be deleted. It will be still be there in the disk because my C is pointing. So if you remove the last file name, this content will be permanently deleted from the disk. So if you have a file, okay, with 4 names, in other words 4 shortcut, if you delete one of the shortcut, because the other 3 are alive, the file will be still be there in the disk. If you remove the next one, the file is still there. If you remove the next one, file will be still there. If you remove the last one, file itself will be deleted. So when you delete the last reference, the file will be deleted, otherwise it will not delete. Again, remember, because all of them are pointing to the same file, if you use any file name and make changes, it will be highlighted with all the file names. So you know very well, because ultimately this is the same file that you are using. If you make changes to this, any other reference are reading from the same file, so it will be automatically highlighted there. The next option that we have is the file option. So you know, in the I don't know whether you really do it or not. In Windows, generally you notice that you look at the icon here. Where is this? You look at the icon and you say that this is the song, this is the picture, and so on and so forth. But in terminal, what if I want to know whether it is a picture or whether it is a text or whether it is a C program? How do I know that? So in terminal, remember this is a black and white world here. We don't see anything colorful here in this terminal. What if you really want to know it? In that case, you have a command called as file. So if you use file cities.txt, it's going to say that it's an ASCII text file. You know very well what is ASCII. Okay, so similarly, I have, if you notice, let me ls minus l here. I have something called as Indian flag.jpg. That's this is the JPEG image. You know what is this JPEG all about. If I say file and if I say Indian flag.jpg, you will notice that it is a JPEG image data, and so on and so forth. Okay, in the same way, I have an MP3 file here. You know very well what is this MP3. It's actually an MP3 file. Not I've changed, not changed an extension and did it. It's actually an MP3 file. So if I say file, and if I say sample MP3, it's going to say that it is sample 3 audio file with ID3 version MPEG and layer 3. It is MPEG layer 3. You know very well MPEG layer 3 is nothing but MP3. So this is how you can get the details about the file using the file command. So it is used for, it's going to give the general classification of the file. Okay, so file followed by the file name, you get it. Next one is to compare. Sometimes we would like to compare the content of one file with the other file. In that case, you can use a compare option. So let's try to compare two files over here. Oops, not this one. This is the one. So I have two files over here. Let me let me use ls minus l over here so that I get the file name. So I have friends here and I have cities here. Let me first show you these two things over here. Cities are there, okay, and yes cities and my cities are there. So why this yes cities I called it, I would like to show you that. So let me first show you yes cities. You notice that it is actually sorted in the ascending order. That's why it is like this. Okay, now suppose if I copy yes cities to sc.txt, I just copy that. So it's the same file. Okay, let me show you cat sc.txt. I'm going to show you that. So it's the same file. Okay, let me clear it first. Okay, and let me compare cmp. What is yes cities, and I think I wrote as sc.text. okay, they are same file, just made a copy. So you notice that there is no difference. Now I'm going to go over to sc. I'm doing it here, but I can do it using vi editor or anything. Now I'm going to say the first word is Bangalore. I'm going to put a. So first word is changed. Let me save it. Let me show you the other file also. What is the other file name I gave is yes cities. Okay, what's the difference between this yes cities? In this yes city, let me show you. In this yes cities, Bangalore is there. In this one, a Bangalore is there. Okay, now if I do the comparison, it's going to say differ in the first byte, first line. So it's going to say this, there is first byte, that is the first character in the two files are varying. Now instead of BA, now instead of writing BE, I am going to say BA. Okay, in that case what's going to happen? If I again compare it, it's going to say it is changing in the second byte, that is second character, first line. Hope you get it. So it's going to tell you that there is a comparison. Remember, if the files are same, it will not tell you anything. But whenever the files are differing, it's going to tell on which line and which character in terms of bytes is differing. So that is what is the compare. So compare is used to compare two files. You give the file name, so it's going to give you the difference between the two files. So if there is a change in the two files, for example, it's going to say file1.txt and file2.txt differ in the character 20 of line 2. Okay, this is how it's going to do. Next one is to find what is common between the two files. So let's look at that things over here. Let's look at that in action. Let me clear the clutter here, and I have two files over here. First, let me ls it, and I'm going to show you. First file that I'm going to use is yes cities. The reason why I use the word yes here is it is sorted in the ascending order. I'll tell you how to sort it. My cities, yes cities is there, and yes my cities are there. So let me first cat both of them. Yes cities. Okay, this is the content, and yes, and let me cat it. Yes my cities. Okay, let me cat it. What is the difference? You notice over here it is Bangalore is there, Dharwad is there, Hubli is there, then Kushal Nagar is there, but Kundapur is there. So here in the my cities, Kundapur extra is there, then Kushal Nagar will come. Mangalore is there, Mysore is, Udupi is there, but in this case before Udupi, after Mysore, Surathkal is there. There are two places where the things are differing. In one of the files Surathkal extra is there, rest remaining are same. In the other file you have Kundapur, which is extra. Let's do the comparison now. So I'm going to clear the clutter now. So let's go here, and I'm going to say find the common difference between yes cities and my, I think yes my cities. What's the difference? It's going to show it in 3 columns. Remember that it's going to show it in 3 different columns. The first one is for the first file. The first one, it says that if you notice it, I will just show you the content here. Let me show you the content first, so that I have the GUI here. So where is my this is there, one file is there. So this is my cities, and the other one is yes cities are there. So first one I took yes cities. So what is difference in the yes cities? I've already told you. Surathkal is different. Okay, Surathkal is different. So that is what it is trying to show. It's going to show you that so let me, where is my mouse pointer? Okay, so it's going to show you that the first file, this is the file, okay, Surathkal is different. In the second file, what is the difference? In the second file, you know very well. In the second file, if I go here, you know very well, Kundapur is different. So it's going to show me that this is for the first file. So this is for the first file. In the first file, what is extra? Surathkal. In the second file, what is extra? Kundapur. It's going to show you where it is. And last thing that what I have is the common. These are common in both the files. So that's how it is going to come. First one is the what's the difference in the first file. Second one is what's the difference in the second file. And the last one is what is common in between the 2 files. So this is how it's going to come. However, very, very important thing, these files must be sorted. Otherwise you won't get the result. You will get an error message if you try to do this kind of comparison. For example, I'm going to do the comparison of cities. Let me, where is the mouse pointer? Okay, so comparison cities, which is not I think it is not sorted, and say yes cities. Let's say if it is not sorted, it may give, no, this time it took it. Okay, and you notice here, okay, it is given you the file 1 is not sorted. So it's going to tell you that if the two things are not sorted, it will just tell you that you are trying to do a comparison between unsorted files, so it's going to create a problem to you. So this is how you're going to get it. So you get the first column, what's the difference in the first one, what is unique in the word, what is one thing which is there only in the first file, not in the second file. The second column, what is the only thing which is there in the second file but not in the first file. And the last one is what are common to both the files. Now again, you can just say I want to see only the first column. So remember, there were three columns were there. First one, what is the common in what is there in one first file which is not there in the second file. Second one is what is there in the second file, not common. And the last one is common. You can just say show me only the first column, show me only the second column, or show me only the third column. How do you do it is you specify the option. So if you specify the option as 1, only the first it suppresses the listing of the first column. Next one, it suppresses the listing of second column, and last one, it suppresses the listing of the third column. You can do that using the 1, 2 and 3 option. That's all for today. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next class. Thank you.